Domo arigato, geek to me radio, da 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 da. Domo arigato, geek to me radio, da 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 da.
Welcome, 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 boys and girls, geeks and nerds in the St. Louis area and points online to another exciting episode of Geek to Me Radio. We are joined by Joe Stulce from Planet Score Records and Joe Watts from Subculture Comics. We'll be talking about an upcoming event, Capes and Tapes, at the Schlafly Bottleworks. Stand by.
We're talking TV, comics and movies, and video games. And if you don't know Star Trek from Star Wars, we'll try to explain. There are 12 doctors for Hogwarts houses, one ring rules them all. To be the greatest Pokemon master, you must catch them all. You must catch them all. Try to catch them all. Gotta catch them all. Gotta catch them all.
And we are live in studio. If you would like to call in at some point and critique me live on the air or talk about what we're talking about, the toll-free numbers are 855-770-1260. We are joined in studio, as I mentioned, by my good friend Joe Stulce.
Hello.
Planet Score Records.
Yep.
About to celebrate your 1-year anniversary.
Yep, 1 year anniversary next Saturday. We're going to have an all-day party, sales. We're going to cook up some food. Schlafly right down the street, our good friends, hooked us up with some beer.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's
Congratulations on being in business 1
Thank
year.
you. Thank you.
In this particular business economic climate, that's an impressive thing for any business.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
kudos to you.
Thank you.
And we also have Joe Watts from Subculture Comics.
How's it going?
How are you? You're also located in Maplewood.
Yes. We're right
And-
down the street from Orbit Pinball Lounge
Okay.
on Sutton.
And you guys have been open for about 6 months at least, yeah?
A year and a half, actually.
Has it been? Wow,
Yeah.
see? I'm
Yeah,
behind.
we started in July 11th of last year, just before they opened their record store. And
Oh, cool. So you've actually been there longer than him.
yes.
So you're kind of like the boss of, if there's a seniority on the block, you've got it.
Yep.
Maybe.
And Maggie's also, you're also with Subculture.
Yes, I am.
Thanks for all coming in. Appreciate
Dude,
it.
thanks for having us.
So the main thing we're going to talk about is the event Capes and Tapes,
Yep.
which is coming up down there.
November 5th. It's going to be at Schlafly Bottleworks. Whose idea was it originally? Was it Schlafly or you guys? Subculture.
It was Alex at Schlafly.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
Schlafly came to Subculture and he came to Planet Score and said, hey, let's do a comic book record show. We thought it was a great idea. So it's Saturday, November 5th from 7 to 11:30, I think.
That's what it says here on the poster.
Yeah, got a bunch of vendors, going to be selling comics and records and drinking beer.
Beer.
Right.
James, you're going to have a table set up
Yeah,
as
I'm
well.
going to come down. I'm going to get rid of some of my stuff.
Yeah.
So if you're in the area, if you like music and or comic books and toys, you need to come on down. Or if you like beer.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like beer?
Exactly. So it's anybody. You don't like beer?
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
Well, that's okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. It's not very, but you like music and comics, though.
Oh, totally.
I think they're going to have water, too.
Oh, see?
Oh, then I'm totally there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll have all sorts of things. So,
Yeah.
for the designated drivers, we'll have water.
Yes.
So, yeah, but that's, this is the first event. I'm assuming
Yeah,
it
the
might be an
first
annual.
one, we're hoping to maybe do it every few months or something.
Oh, nice.
I don't know. We're just
Yeah.
going to see how the first one goes.
Right.
But we got some great vendors lined up. Jason Rerun of Rerun Records. It's a local kind of punk rock, new wave record label. He's going to set up shop. Our good friends Kevin and Signata McDermott of the local band Cave of Swords are going to be selling records and comics. Jeff Hess of different radio station I probably am not allowed to talk about.
There's another radio station in St. Louis. People might know this. So it's okay.
Great local dude. He's going to set up, sell some records, and got some other people. You guys have some people lined up, I think, right, Joe?
Yeah, we have a few of our local guys that we're friends with. We've also contacted a few of the other shows, like the Spectre Club, and talked to some of their guys. So we're going to have them come in. Some of them have confirmed, but I haven't talked to them recently, so
Okay.
I hope things haven't changed.
Shoot them an
Hopefully I'm
email
not-
or a text.
Yeah. I'm really going to have to get onto them soon, but
It's coming up.
Yes.
And I know I'm guilty of this in some fashion where people in St. Louis, it's weird because we've got so much stuff going on all over the area, but like people in Chesterfield, for example, I don't want to drive to St. Charles. And people in St. I don't want to drive to Alton. So a lot of times I don't get down to, I haven't actually been to your store yet since you opened.
No, I've been wondering about that.
Well, I don't
Well, this is the
I don't
first
like
time I've
music
been
at
to where
all.
you
So
work.
that's true. So all right, so there we go. But yeah, so it's one of those things where people need, because we've got so much great stuff going on in all parts of the greater St. Louis metro area.
Yeah.
And so if you haven't had a chance to get down there, and I know I haven't, so this would be a perfect opportunity to come down, check out some of the local people down there and their stores.
It's
and
a great area. Lots
yeah.
of great stores down there, bars, restaurants. I think there's a strip club now, isn't there? No, that's a cat bar.
They're not.
that's opening.
Oh, it's a cat. Okay,
Cat
different
restaurant. Sorry.
type of yeah.
Yeah, that's actually across the street from us.
Yeah, that seems pretty cool. I'm looking forward
It's
to
the
checking
Cat Cafe. It's called the Mile House. They're going to be opening soon. So, from what I understand, it's the first one in St. Louis.
So is it like a franchise then?
No, this is some more local people.
Oh, okay.
They actually they have another business in Maplewood, and they decided that they like this ideal, and they're working with a local adoption agency that is going to supply the cats for people to hang out with, and they will be up for adoption as well. So, but
So you can go there just to hang out with cats. It's like a cat therapy kind of a thing?
You can hang out with them, and they do serve food and beverages.
cats serve food?
That's impressive.
No.
I'd like a large saucer of milk.
Yes.
And,
Well, that would be great.
some sardines.
yeah.
Yeah, make sure you tip the tabby on the way
Right,
out.
exactly. I'll have the salmon, please. Yeah. I think that'd be great fun.
They're very nice. They've been helping, support us by word of mouth and things. Our shop is kind of hard to find. We're tucked away in another business's building, and we don't have a sign yet, which is strange. But there are a lot of loopholes to getting signs in Maplewood, and
Right.
because of our location in the building we're in, it's kind of difficult to figure out what we can agree upon. So
We got a Facebook page they can go to. It's
Yeah.
facebook.com/subculturestl, right?
correct.
So
We're inside the mattress company. It's called Maplewood Custom Bedding. If you find that building, you'll find us.
okay.
There's-
Tucked inside the mattress, your store is so money.
Yeah,
Ah.
I like it.
So I figured we'd just geek out a little bit too this hour, because I know we were talking about The Walking Dead before we
yeah.
came in. Joe,
So
you
excited.
don't watch Walking Dead. You're one of probably the first people I've talked to who is
I
not
don't.
only not seen it, you've had no interest in seeing
I
it
don't do zombies
at all.
at all.
So what's your when you talk about the Halloween season, you've got your monster. What's your monster of choice? Vampires, werewolves, mummies.
That's a tough one.
Klingon.
Yeah, that's actually my costume this year. I'm working on a Klingon headpiece.
Nice.
I dabble a little bit in art.
And you ripped off a sideburn in the process.
I did.
Oh!
I lost my glorious chops to the mold. The mold
Freaking
release didn't.
hilarious.
It was.
It was so funny.
There were some words that came
Did
out.
you yell
that-
Kelly Clarkson like on 40-Year-Old Virgin?
No.
Much to my disappointment, no, he did not.
What's funny you mentioned Klingons, because today is Christopher Lloyd's birthday, who played Klingon Commander Kruge in
Yes.
Star Trek 3.
Yes.
He's 78 years old,
Wow.
which doesn't seem possible. Because I remember him as Professor Plum in Clue,
Yeah, I
and
was
he was
just
only
gonna
in his
say I've
40s.
been wanting to watch
Yeah.
Clue. I don't know why I like to watch that around Halloween season. It's not really.
It's a murder kind of thing.
It's
So yeah, that's
dark
great.
and it's
Yeah.
rainy.
It originally
people
came out in the
die.
theaters during Christmas. And so I always, oddly, think of it as a Christmas
Well,
movie.
I remember you and I watched that movie a million times
Oh, yeah.
when we were kids
yeah,
together.
that was a fantastic, just a great movie. And
Yeah,
now it's being
it's
turned into a
classic.
Broadway musical.
Really?
They're making Clue into a Broadway musical. So, I mean, stranger things have happened.
That's true.
Stranger Things, also a very good
Yeah, that was
Netflix
a great
series.
show.
Loved
Yes.
it.
Definitely.
It was great.
If you're an 80s fan, or if you're a fan of Stephen King, or a fan of any of those genres,
All
they
that
kind of mix
stuff.
them all together brilliantly.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to season 2 of that.
Yeah.
So you don't watch Walking Dead. What do you guys watch? What are you watching currently?
We were talking about Legends of Tomorrow.
Yes.
That's the new one that I just recently started on season 1. I'm not a huge fan of the DC television series. We had discussed that.
Get out. I'm kidding. No, no, it's fine. That's because everyone. Are you when it comes to DC versus Marvel? Are you firmly encamped, or are you one of those people who's like, it doesn't matter, it's all good?
It's all good.
Good.
Honestly, if I had to pick something, probably small press. They reach more into the things that really spark my imagination. But I've always been a superhero person at heart.
I know a lot of people on Instagram. I've got some friends who only purchase indie titles.
Yeah.
Which is great. I mean, obviously, what was it? Oh, okay. 30 seconds. Joey just told us 30 seconds. I thought he was warding off vampires with his cross fingers, but that's 30 seconds. My apologies. So we're going to come back with more. We'll be talking about the Capes and Tapes event. So if you want to mark your calendars for that, Saturday, November 5th, from 7 p.m. till 11:30 p.m., beer will be served by Schlafly Bottleworks, Subculture Comic Book, and water for Maggie, and Planet Score Records. We'll be back with more right after this. Stand by.
He's our powers magnified, and he's fighting on the planet side. Captain.
We are back live on air, Geek to Me Radio. If you have any questions for either Joe Stulce of Planet Score Records or Joe Watts of Subculture Comics, please feel free to give us a call. Toll free 855-770-1260. This particular segment brought to you by Historic St. Charles. Right now, this weekend, if you're a Halloween fan, and who isn't, Legends and Lanterns going on this weekend, tonight and tomorrow. It's like Christmas traditions where they have all the people dressed up in costume. They have historical Halloween characters, so you can go visit Lizzie Borden. You can go visit Guy Fawkes. You can go visit Ichabod Crane and interact with these people. It's for Halloween weekend and this weekend, so you can do a little Halloween pre-gaming. It's today and tomorrow. You can check out their website at historicstcharles.com for more information on that. Very proud to have the City of St. Charles as one of our official show sponsors. Back in studio, we were talking before the break about zombies. And speaking of zombies, my friend Bill Cleveland, who, that's kind of a bad segue. Sorry, Bill. If you're listening, I apologize. He had me tell this story about when Joe and I were young and something we like to do when we're goofy. It's one of those Halloween pranks. You know, it's kind of a fun thing to do. Don't recommend doing this. This is not an endorsement to do this kind of thing. This is telling you what not to do, but it's funny. So we would go to St. Ferdinand Park, and this is back in the day, kids, when they had pay phones. You'd actually have these phones that weren't mobile. You couldn't carry them with you. They're on these big metal poles, and you had to put quarters in to activate the phone. Okay? So we'd go to the park. We'd drop a quarter, and this would usually be around 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, after we were kicked out of Denny's. And one of us would pretend like we were a child. And whoever answered the phone, if it was a man, we'd say, Dad?
Well, you would have to call a number. You know, they always had the number of the payphone.
Right,
on the
exactly,
payphone.
yes.
You would have to call a number that's like one number off from that.
So you'd
make it
call
work.
very, very close to that number.
Yeah.
And if it was a guy who answered the phone, we'd say, Dad. If it was a woman, we'd say, Mom. And they'd say, no, you just woken these people up. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. And I'm really sorry. I just used my last quarter. I'm trying to call my mom and dad. They're supposed to come get me at the Y. I just finished swim practice a couple hours ago, and they haven't come to get me. Can you please call the number? And we'd convince them to do it. They'd call back the number that we'd give them. It's the payphone number. And so when the phone rang, someone else in the group would answer the phone, say, hello.
Whoever sounded the most
right.
like an adult.
And which was
Never
odd.
me.
I know. Yeah, you were usually the kid, I
was
think.
the kid.
Right. And they'd say, hi, I just got a call from your son. He's up at the Y waiting to be picked up from swim practice. And we'd say, oh, I can't believe you'd call me. My son drowned in the pool at the Y 12 years ago tonight. And we'd hang up the phone.
Oh my goodness.
Terrible.
And of course, we'd sit there and
Terrible.
just imagine them like they wouldn't be able to go back to sleep.
Well, they just talked to a ghost.
I know. And it was always fun to do around the Halloween time.
That's very clever.
Joey, is there a disclaimer we can
Like
play? Some kind of disclaimer that says the opinions you hear are not, we have anything like that?
Yeah, usually this show is always dead on, so everything you're saying is perfect.
Perfect.
I fact-checked it.
Excellent. All right,
Okay.
thank you. So, all right, we're good. We don't need the disclaimer. But, yeah, and kids can't do it now because there are no payphones around
No,
anymore.
everybody's got caller ID.
Exactly. So don't do it, kids. It's just a fun story. And Joe and I were reminiscing before the show started about some of our youthful indiscretions.
Shenanigans.
Exactly.
Shenanigans.
But now, Maggie, you said you are a Walking Dead fan.
Yes, I am. I'm
So,
very excited about tomorrow
Comes
night.
back tomorrow.
Yes.
Who do you think got the business end of Lucille?
I'm torn between thinking Abraham and Daryl.
I think it needs to be Daryl for the show to have any impact.
Well, the actors and actresses that talk about it say everybody's going to be really upset and sad, so that makes me think Daryl.
Well, they can say that about anybody. They work with these people. They, they'll be upset. Yeah, but
Yeah.
So is Glenn in the comic books?
Yes.
In issue 100, they killed off Glenn.
If it's Glenn, I'm rioting.
And that's so ridiculous because they pulled that garbage with him in the mid-season finale. If they kill Glenn off, I'm not going to care. It really will
I
not
won't
make a
care.
difference to me.
Which one's
really?
Glenn?
Yes.
Glenn is the one who's one of the few people left. He was originally
like
the pizza delivery boy.
Yeah,
Okay.
He's
he's
with
second in
Maggie.
command.
Okay, see, I
Yeah.
only saw like the
Yes,
first
Maggie's
couple seasons.
husband.
So, but if you saw the preview though from the upcoming episode,
Yeah.
Rick has blood on the right side of his face.
Right.
He's right next to Maggie, and
Yes.
next to Maggie is Abraham.
But it was only a little bit of blood, so that makes me think it's somebody a couple people away.
Well, the barbed wire and the bat probably absorbed large chunks of the flesh, so it probably didn't
blood
fly too much.
slings. Have you
Okay,
ever tried
Dexter,
that?
calm down. Yeah, it's hard to say because it wasn't a lot of blood.
Let's do a test right now.
All right, we got that bat
Joe?
in the
Or Joe?
closet, don't we, Joey?
Yeah, of
Or
course.
Joe.
All right, we'll get the bat and Joey bring it in. We'll do a quick test. We'll go Gallagher. We'll get some watermelons brought in here and test how it works out. But Joey, are you a fan of The Walking Dead?
I loved season 1 and then just didn't keep up because, I don't know, it's a lot of TV.
Yeah,
it's so
same.
There's
depressing.
a
It
lot.
hurts my heart sometimes.
I understand. There's a lot. There's so many shows out because we were just talking about that too. There's the CW has 5 shows once iZombie comes back that are based on DC. It's the CW is basically DC TV
Yeah.
for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
They only could have gotten Constantine on Fridays. That would have been the perfect fit. Did you guys watch Constantine?
I did,
Is
and
it
then it got canceled.
rumor that Netflix is picking that up for a season, I think?
They talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
and
awesome.
they're also talking about doing a because they've got the animated Justice League Dark going straight to DVD because I don't. Here's my thing with DC. I don't understand because their TV. I know you wouldn't agree, but I think their TV is great. All their TV stuff. Their small screen stuff that they do direct to DVD, like Justice League versus Teen Titans, and all their direct animated stuff is fantastic. Their comic books are good. They can't make a decent movie to save their lives. It's just been a disaster. Do you guys have any opinions on?
Well, I like Superman, Batman. I seem to be on the wrong end of that conversation, but
Did you watch the director's cut yet?
I did.
It was better.
That was the only one that I've seen. So I
Oh,
didn't
that's
go to
why.
the theaters
Okay,
and
that may be
watch
why
it.
you liked it.
Yeah, I don't like to rush to the theaters and be a part of that scene anymore.
You don't like the sticky theater seats and the popcorn smell as you walk out, and
It's so romantic.
Maybe the new 5-star lounges where they bring me beer to my seat.
That is
those
nice.
Those are fun. Yeah, I don't have to worry about kids or the guy in front of me where I can't see him.
Right.
Because he's taller than I am. I'm a little short, but
I took my wife to one of those, and I made the mistake of doing it. And now she said, "I will never watch a movie in coach again, so we can't go to the regular theaters anymore."
well, that's how I felt.
Yeah.
They've
Yes.
created a monster. Now we're used to that,
Yes,
so
yeah.
we have to go further from there. I'm not sure where they can go. You've any preference on the DC movies at all?
I don't think I've seen any of them.
Really?
No, I don't watch a lot of movies. Music guy.
That's that. You're the music
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah,
So how about that soundtrack for Suicide Squad?
haven't heard it.
I'm trying to work with you a little bit. So the bands you said that were coming to the Capes and Tapes event. What type of music is that?
Well, they're not going to be performing. They're just setting up a table
Oh, okay.
as vendors. But Cave of Swords, they're a local band. How would you describe them? Kind of electronic, kind of psychedelic. I think they call themselves dub wave. Really cool
Okay.
stuff. Yeah, definitely check them out.
That's
Good
Cave of
friends of ours.
Swords.
Yeah,
Okay, and
all one word.
they've got a website, I guess, caveofswords.com.
Oh yeah,
I'm assuming.
definitely Facebook page. I assume they have a website.
We
Okay.
carry some of their merchandise at our shop too.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, we got the records and tapes. They even put out tapes.
Yes.
Nice. Really?
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
I
Cassettes are
heard
coming
cassettes
back.
are coming back. That's right. I heard that.
Yeah, cassettes are back
Yeah.
big time.
Yeah, I always miss them. What else are pencils for? Stick them in and
Yeah,
re-spool the
totally.
tape. No one writes with pencils anymore. We're going to take another break coming up here in just a few seconds. We'll be back with more talking about the Capes and Tapes event. Again, that is Saturday, November 5th from 7 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. at the Schlafly Bottleworks, 2345 Southwest Avenue, Maplewood, Maplewood, Missouri. Mark your calendars now. Joe Watts won't know, but this is the Walking Dead theme we're exiting to right now. Just for you, Betty. Just for you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more here on Geek to Me Radio. Stand by.
Hi, this is Greg Weisman, the creator of Gargoyles and co-creator of Young Justice, and you're listening to Geek to Me Radio. Stay whelmed.
Stay whelmed, St. Louis. Stay whelmed. We're back on air with Joe Stulce from Planet Score Records, Joe Watts from Subculture Comics, and Maggie's here from Subculture Comics as well.
Yes.
And before the break, we were talking, just kind of geeking out, Walking Dead. We're talking about some music, obviously talking about the Capes and Tapes event. If you are just now tuning in, you want to mark your calendars for November 5th of this year, 2016. We don't want to give you too much notice. That's 7 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. at the Schlafly Bottleworks down at 2345 Southwest Avenue in Maplewood, Missouri. And are all the spots filled up yet? If people still want to book a table?
I think they are. The music spots are filled up for sure.
I'll have to confirm with my business partner, Dave, but I think all of our spots are filled completely.
Okay. So the spots are filled, but if you want to come down and get some cool stuff, I mean, there'll be people selling music, there'll be people selling records, CDs, cassettes.
Yeah.
I'll have some toys and comics. A lot of other people have
I
comic
guess
books.
people
And
could bring stuff to trade too, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Why not?
It's an all out. It's just gonna be fun. So if you've got something you want us to look at, maybe go through the price guide with you. I'm sure any of our guys would be willing to help and take a look at what you have. Even if you just want to show something off, I love seeing books that I haven't seen before.
Bring some CGC slabs down for us to look at. That'd be nice.
It goes back to a story I had when I used to work at another shop. I had a guy bring in an issue number 1 and number 2 of X-Men. And they were in a manila folder, and it was him and his grandson. And I'm like, dude, hold on. Get him a bag and a board, and I tape them up. And I'm like, okay, keep these in here for now. And I'm going to give you some information, but
yeah, don't just leave them in the manila folder.
Yeah. Like, how did you keep them so... I mean, they were clean. Like, I don't know what he stored them in at home, but these were really clean issues. And he had no idea what he had. He was like, I just bought them off the grocery store shelf when I was a kid. And
wow.
Yeah.
So they were like in the 9s if you were CGC them?
Yeah, if he had sent those out, they would have been nice. They were great.
Man.
I was impressed. The little devil on my shoulder got kicked out really quick because he was like, "I'll give you $5," and I'm like,
"Go away."
Yeah.
At least give the guy 10. Come on.
Right.
What are those worth?
A couple thousand.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I couldn't tell you right off the top of my head, but I mean, they're up there.
Yeah, eBay is subjective, but I had to end up selling my X-Men number 1, and I ended up getting $1,600 for it. And it was probably in a 3.5 range. Yeah. So eBay's, like I said, subjective. Sometimes you'll get something that you wouldn't think you get $500 for, and it'll go for $2,000, $3,000. And other stuff you'll put on there, this is a $5,000 comic book, and you'll end up getting $600 for it. Yeah. It's just bizarre. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of changed the way. Do you guys have a lot of people coming in to the store saying, well, on eBay it's worth this?
I really don't go off of eBay prices. I'll go to like an actual comic
Overstreet, or
we have an Overstreet in the shop, and usually that's what I'll go off of when we're in the shop. There are numerous websites you can go to and just check and make sure what your price is going for. And honestly, I try and give them the best amount that I can.
Yeah, you got to make money. That's one of the things about taking it into a store is, you understand the store's got to make money, so you're not going to get. Yeah. It must be the same thing when people bring in records and stuff to sell to you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So is there anything
rip off
like
everybody? We can't. No, never.
So have anyone brought you in anything that's like it's like a holy grail type of thing?
We've seen some pretty valuable records. Let's see. Most recently, we sold a the Misfits, old punk rock band. Mm-hmm. It was an original pressing, I think, of Earth AD. Went for about $800.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, we see $100, $200 records pretty often.
So what makes it? Because I know comic books, but I don't really know much about as far as the records go. What makes it more valuable? I would think that, you know, they're mass produced.
Yeah, lots of different things. Particular pressings, definitely. You know, earlier the better usually, but promos can be really big. Those can be even more valuable than, you know, the just regular releases sometimes. Smaller labels with a lot smaller pressings will go for more. Like, you know, we get people all the time who will bring in, they'll have some Beatles records, you know, and they're trashed, just terrible looking. And they're like, well, this is the Beatles. It's got to be worth $200. We're like, you don't understand. They made millions of these things. You know, everybody's got these. You know, so but you know, there's definitely some Beatles records that are worth money too. The Butcher cover. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. You ever heard about that?
No. Sorry. Like I said, I don't know records. I apologize, but it's
guess
not my.
In America, they would release the albums differently than they came out in England, in the UK, where they would usually knock off a couple of songs. Save up those songs that they took off of the albums, release EPs, you know, an extra album. Beatles were unhappy with this for the most part. So the rumor goes there was an album called Yesterday and Today. It was an American-only release. And you may have seen kind of a famous picture of the cover. It's the Beatles wearing white kind of lab coats covered in raw meat and baby doll parts.
Yeah. I have seen that.
Well, that didn't go over too well when it came out. So they recalled them. People burned them. There was a big recall. And what they did with the ones that got recalled, they just pasted over a different cover on top of it. So now you've got these different versions out there. The ones that have not been pasted over, the ones with the pasted over, because you could tell. And then the ones where people steamed off the sticker so they can have the Butcher cover. And those actually go for the least amount, I think, the steamed off ones.
Interesting.
But yeah, you know, just weird stuff like that.
So we're going to take another break. If you have any questions about anything, records, comic books, anything like that, again, our toll-free number, 855-770-1260. We're going to get back to some of your favorite commercials. We had Melissa from Chesterfield call in. She wanted to hear that political commercial again, so we're going to air that for you. Here we go. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Greg Grunberg, Snap Wexley from Star Wars, and it's all geek to me, my friends.
And that reminds me, Greg Grunberg talking about Star Wars. Congratulations to Donald Glover, cast as young Lando Calrissian in the upcoming young Han Solo film. Everyone here Star Wars fans, or do I need to leave?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
You're okay.
Yeah, but that's the anthology movies that Star Wars has coming out now that Disney's bought them. I'm excited about Rogue One. It should be really good.
It's cool.
It's gonna be a little bit of a darker tone. Yeah. I can't understand why people keep messaging on. I keep seeing in the Facebook threads, when is this movie taking place? Why isn't Rey and Finn in it? Where are they? It's like, it takes place before Star Wars Episode 4. Look at the timeline. Gosh. But enough about that. Yeah, congratulations, Donald Glover. That's an exciting bit of casting.
Yeah,
I think that'll go well. Yeah.
Who's playing Han?
It's what's his name? He was in Hail Caesar. He played
haven't seen that yet.
That was a good Coen Brothers.
Yeah.
He plays the young cowboy actor who they bring into
I just said I
the
haven't
high
seen it.
society
Why
one. The more I describe it, it's like
yeah.
when a person says they don't speak English. If you talk louder, they'll start to understand quickly. It's just how much is this? One of those kind of things. So,
$3.50.
yeah, I can't think of the guy. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna IMDb it. While I'm IMDbing it, because it's gonna drive me crazy. You've got a 1-year anniversary sale coming up, or not a sale, but an event.
Yeah, it's a sale as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
so talk a little bit about that.
Okay, next Saturday, October 29th at Planet Score Records, 7421 Manchester Road in beautiful downtown Maplewood. Yeah, it's our 1-year anniversary Halloween party. We're going to have food. We're going to cook up some food. Our friends at Schlafly, Charles and Alex, great dudes. They supplied us with some free beer. We're going to have a wheel that you spin. It's the Wheel of Deals.
Wheel of Morality?
No,
Oh.
I don't know what that is.
Animaniacs.
Turn.
Wheel of Morality.
It's the lesson
Yeah,
that we
exactly.
should learn.
Well, it's a Wheel of Deals.
Okay.
And basically, when you're checking out, you spin it, and it's going to land on something. You might get a percentage off, a prize. Who knows? Something cool. So that'll be fun.
Cool.
So yeah, come out, bring your family, dress up if you want to. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
That's
We might have
next
free
Saturday.
leftover comic books for you guys too.
Oh.
Yeah, because that same day is
We have Halloween Comic Fest down at Subculture. It's kind of a hey, come get free comics and dress up and be supportive of your shop and just have fun. The whole cosplay thing, it's fun when you go to the Comic-Cons and the other events around to always see that. So we hope they come into the shop. It happens at quite a bit of your local comic shops. They should participate in it, and if not, just come see us.
There you go. Yeah.
We're at 3110 Suite X, Sutton Boulevard, and that's in. Well, we're not quite downtown Maplewood. We're not.
Sorry, go ahead.
We're not quite downtown Maplewood, but we're off about 4 blocks south of Manchester. So
That's Suite X for X-Men.
that's right. I had to go through a special event at the post office to get that. So.
Did you? It's like a raffle. Who gets the
No,
deal?
it was like, well, why don't you want to be A? It's like everybody else is A. I want to be X, man. And,
Yeah.
And it fits along with our book. So
Perfect. And if you need to get more information on that, the website is HalloweenComicFest.com. But yeah, come in costume, like you said.
yeah,
And you get a picture of yourself with the free comic
in front
of the store.
the store, and you turn that in as your entry onto their website. That should take care of it.
Yeah.
They're voting for best costumes.
And then, of course, coming up on Tuesday, November 1st, is my favorite holiday, half off Halloween Candy Day. That's the best event.
Yes.
So you guys, you mentioned you're doing the Klingon outfit. Are the two of you, the other Joe and Maggie, are you dressing up?
I'm going to be a Vulcan
A Vulcan, nice.
from the original series.
Okay.
I haven't come up with a costume yet.
Not yet?
No, and I wasn't going to, but Tim, my business partner, said I have to.
Yeah. It's kind of
And
the
I
law.
agree with
yeah.
him. I
You
do.
do.
I agree with him. I'll
Absolutely.
come up with something.
Okay. Just hang a bunch of Christmas lights on and, kind of mess your hair up a little bit and go as Winona Ryder from Stranger Things.
That's
And
not a bad idea, actually.
just scream at people, "My son's out there!" And just have the lights blinking, have the little alphabet listed. It's a perfect
Chain
costume.
smoke.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, shoot a hole in your wall. Is that like- the people next to the
Well,
store won't mind.
I did accidentally elbow a hole into my wall the other day, so I got the hole.
Little spackle. No one will know.
Yeah,
It's fine.
I'll fix it.
But so yeah, it's all Halloween's always been one of my favorite holidays. It's fun to
Oh,
dress
yeah,
up.
Yes.
definitely.
And costume and cosplay is mainstream now.
Yeah.
Because I used to dress up when I was little as a Star Wars character and was like, "Here are you supposed to be?" And now, it's like Pokemon. When you played the cards back in the '90s, everyone's like, "You play Pokemon?" And now if you don't have Pokemon Go on your phone, everyone's like, "You don't play Pokemon?" So it's all mainstream now.
Yep.
I'm usually like strange characters from things. Like last year, I was a professional wrestler. I was Hawk from Legion of Doom, and
Ooh.
some people are like, "What are you supposed to be?" And I'm like, "All right, that's when I realized that I might be old."
Yeah, I made some reference the other day to some TV show, and they said, "What show is that?" I was like, come on, Facts Alive?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh.
I think I tried to do my Mrs. Garrett impression. It just didn't go over with the,
Let's hear it.
Yeah, let's do it.
"Oh, Natalie." So, yeah, thank you.
Pretty good.
"Blair, what are you doing?" So, the more I try to do it, it's going to morph into Katharine
flashbacks.
Hepburn. So yeah, I was in a show with Jimmy Stewart. The whole impression I get for a while, then it kind of morphs into somebody else. So yeah, it's never good.
Now do King Candy from Wreck-It Ralph. Do you know that one?
I can't do it.
It's the same voice. Just say video games, and you should be
But see,
good.
then I'll sound like Mrs. Garrett doing King Candy from Wreck-It Ralph.
I'm just saying they sound the same. All your impressions.
Everybody, this week Joey's last day, so everybody, if you want to send your well wishes to Joey V, that'd be great. All my impressions. Have you not heard my Bill Cosby? Because it doesn't sound like Mrs. Garrett. Skadoo-ba-doo. See, that didn't sound like.
That was MC Scat Cat. I remember him. That was good.
I just go home and I cry myself to sleep after these shows. I'll tell you what. So anyway, back to the original. It's Halloween coming up next Monday, but before that we'll do some fun stuff at Planet Score Records.
Yep.
And at Subculture Comic Books. You can look them up on Facebook and check them out for the events and the times. And then just next week, after that, November 5th, once again, Capes and Tapes coming up. Schlafly Bottleworks, 2345 Southwest Avenue, Maplewood, Missouri, 63143. Send your letters and complaints if you want to about what I've said in the show so far. That's fine.
Well, you could tell people that if they want to get involved in the next Capes and Tapes, there's a website at the bottom there.
There is a website. Well, yeah,
We're gonna need
it's
to fill
an
some
email,
tables.
actually. It's an
An
email.
email, that email
Capes, period, tapes, period is the dot, don't spell it out. Capes, period, tapes, at gmail, period, com. Everyone says .com. I try to mix it up.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so, and you said this might be like a
We're hoping,
quarterly
yeah,
event?
if this one is successful, then we're gonna keep it going.
If you're already sold out on tables, it must be pretty successful, I would hope.
Yeah.
A lot of interest. So that's encouraging.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we're going to be coming up to another segment here pretty soon. How long have we got? I haven't seen the cross yet. We're going right now to break. Stand by. We'll be back. We are back to wrap things up on our final segment here on Geek to Me Radio. Once again, if you have any, I'm going to say complaints after those impressions I did, but if you have any comments you want to leave, last segment here, last chance to do so, 855-770-1260. I want to thank my guests again, Joe Stulce from Planet Score Records, Joe Watson Maggie from Subculture Comic Books. Thank you all for coming all the way down here,
Yeah, thanks for having us.
being on air.
Fun.
It'll be an exciting weekend. I guess lots going on next weekend.
Yeah.
Yes.
With all the events. And then obviously, plug it one more time, Capes and Tapes. It's going on at the Schlafly Bottleworks, 2345 Southwest Avenue, Maplewood, Missouri. If you have anything you want to bring, if you have stuff you might want to trade or barter, no live animals because the cat store is not in until later next year. Bring a puppy. I might trade you. You never know. I like puppies. But yeah, if you want to trade anything, they're doing records, they're doing tapes and CDs, they're doing comic books. If you want to bring something to show off, if you have any cool toys, we were talking earlier about the G.I. Joe aircraft carrier. So if you've got a cargo van, bring one of those on down. We'd love to play with it, especially if the microphone's working.
Yes.
And I think the one thing, I think I said I had mine in good shape. I forgot the little antenna array that was on top. I think I busted the little, not the dish one, but the little straight up and down was the communications tower. I think that busted off.
Yeah, I think I did that. I never told you this, but one time when you went upstairs, I was hanging out. I was surfing on your aircraft carrier.
Unbelievable.
Oh, no.
Well, that explains why the davits didn't work on the lifeboat either, probably. You probably tried to dismount too quickly from the surfing.
Oh
Unbelievable.
crap! Here he comes.
So yeah, that was one of the cooler toys I think that's ever. I mean,
Yeah.
they just had on uprocks.com. They had the 21 coolest toys
that
ever
in
made. I think that was number 8.
What was number one?
Well, clearly you never had a Barbie Corvette.
No, I can honestly say I did not.
I did not either, but I heard they were pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah.
I would think the Dream House would be the play set to beat from Barbie.
I did not have that.
I've assembled these for my friends' kids, and they are not fun.
Yeah, I think my brother had to assemble the aircraft carrier with all the detailed stickers and everything like that. Otherwise, it would look like I put it together with my feet because I was 12 years old when I got it.
My
but-
feet were on it once.
Yeah, exactly. Now we know. That would explain. Like I
I'm
said.
looking for the hovercraft.
Oh, the whale, the
yeah,
G.I.
the
Joe
whale,
whale. Yeah,
yeah,
I had that.
that's
I
the
think
one
too.
that I want.
The one I never had was the big space shuttle, the Defiant.
Yeah, I didn't
G.I.
get
Joe
that
Defiant.
either.
That's cool.
But I think that's another one. If you find it on eBay, sealed in the box, I think I saw one last time. I saw one $5,000.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I'm pretty sure that was on the G.I. Joe ones were the Defiant, the aircraft carrier, and the Terrordrome.
Yeah.
Cobra Terrordrome, which I didn't have that either.
Let's see, when they're sealed like that, you never know if the plastic started to rot or.
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
true.
That's where I'm like, oh man, I just paid you $5,000 and opened the box and it's broken.
Or if
Well-
somebody resealed it with a Barbie dream house inside.
That's
Yeah.
ooh, see that'd be
Yeah.
dirty pool. That'd be horrible.
And those are the type of places you return
Yeah.
in the middle of the night.
I'd like to return this, please. Yeah, we'll be talking more with our friends here at the Capes and Tapes event, so make sure you mark that down in your calendars for November 5th. Make sure you check out Planet Score Records and Subculture Comic Books. Drop down there, pay them a visit, tell them you said hello, and or tell them I said hello. Strike that, reverse it. We'll be back with more next week, and tune in Sunday, tomorrow, to Love in the Lou. I'll be on with my friend Sarah Hofstadt discussing superhero love. Wow, chicka, wow, wow. We'll see you next week on Geek to Me Radio.
It's not in the way you watch a zombie. It's not in the way you watch The Flash. It's not in the way you love Scotty Young art. It's not in the way you play Mario Kart. It's not
Thank you, St. Louis. Good night.